By the early 21st century, several jurisdictions, both at the national and subnational levels, have legalized same-sex marriage. In other jurisdictions, however, the campaign for LGBT rights remains at a much earlier stage and marriage equality a distant prospect, given the sway of traditional Asian values that label LGBT community as minor, impiety, and deviant.
According to Howard Becker, deviance is not a quality of a bad person but the result of someone defining someone's activity as bad. It cannot be defined without the definition of the social norms which sets the notions of right and wrong. And the social norms that are mainly shaping people's conception about the homosexual community as deviance in Asia are the beliefs of collectivism and filial piety inherited from traditional Asian doctrines.
Filial piety is a moral virtue stated in Confucianism, a dominant school of philosophy in East Asia. This term refers to responsibility and cultural value that define a hierarchical relationship between the parents and their children. This term can be understood as general obedience, and this value plays a central role in Confucius' theory sets. Among all the obligations defined in the principle of filial piety, selflessness is considered as the greatest disobedience.
The 2006 Chinese General Social Survey reported that around half of the interviewees agreed that married couples should have children. About 45% of them believe that bearing a son to carry on the family name is necessary. Thus, being a gay is regarded unfilial and deviant.
Meanwhile, collectivism as another enduring traditional social value in Asia also plays an important role in shaping people's recognitions about this community. The strong focus on the collective stems largely from Confucianism, which has a penchant for emphasizing collective and societal needs over that of individuals. Individuals in Confucius philosophy are oriented toward interdependence, value the harmony of the group, and are therefore more motivated by affiliation than by autonomy. This can be seen as the expansion of filial piety, expanding deference from the nuclear family to the metaphorical family headed by leaders and political authorities.
As a result, political leaders in Asia gain enough power as being moral entrepreneurs, and when they consider their norms should be the same for everyone in the state, it has launched moral crusades, including categorizing homosexuality into psychological disease, as well as twisting the public representation of homosexual people by media censorship and publication controls. There have also been some professionals in charge of applying their norms, and no matter whether they believe to their laws, their application becomes a reason d'etre for later reference.
In order to eliminate the discrimination and correct the misrepresentation of the homosexual community, and finally, legally recognize their rights, it is necessary to raise another moral crusade by the homosexual community, along with whoever supports them. There are some hints of its appearance, like the contests worldwide and growing attention to this issue. But due to the profound diffusion of traditional cultural values in Asia, this crusade, which goes against the political leaders' beliefs, will not be an easy task.
Although Becker's theory of labeling of deviance helps to understand the generation of deviance as well as the relationship between deviance and social norms, the applicability of another claim of deviance as career remains questionable, especially in the case of homosexual behaviors. In Becker's world, where some activities produce labeling, and then this labeling produces a self-fulfilling prophecy, the deviants will feel more at ease in deviance groups and keep liking which links him with the group. The deviants will reject more consciously the value of persons who reject him and eventually mainstream society.
I assume this is suggesting that the labeling of deviance will reinforce the group's deviancy, and they are likely to alienate more and more from the normal group. But it seems like it is not the case in talking about the homosexual community. What they are seeking for is equality. They want to enjoy the same rights as normal, mainstream people. They want to tear off their labels and become closer to others rather than getting away from them.